Hello, it's JANG here with a look at the First Order Transporter. Hey, that rhymes unintentionally. This is a LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens set. Comes with 792 pieces officially and includes 7 minifigures, including at least one very, very important one. The thing itself though, the transporter, I'm just going to be brutally honest here. This is not interesting to look at. However, it's not supposed to be. It's just a transport. It's supposed to be like the most basic form of boat, like a landing craft, and not one of the cool Star Wars landing craft, just the most utilitarian thing. And so in universe, the real thing, if you will, the actual, in movie props and models and things, they look pretty much like this. They do not look interesting. And so I think LEGO has actually done a pretty good job of capturing the look of the thing. It's not exciting, but the build here is actually really nice. 792 pieces for something of this size is a lot. There's a lot that goes into this, and it uses a wide variety of different types of building styles. Like for instance, you see these pieces, I don't think we've gotten these pieces before, these curved large slope pieces in this color before. The lighter color of gray, we've gotten them in the darker color of gray, and I think another color as well, but these are applied to the sides here. This is just regular brick construction here, all this section here. This top is just pretty straightforward, plates on top of plates, and then you get into more studs on the side construction here, and they use clip pieces and they start turning things, and down here, down underneath, for these little vertical thrusters, little landing and takeoff thrusters in the back, those are wheels on actual wheel axles, just a regular standard size and style of wheel. And that's a really good use of pieces there. It's kind of a style that LEGO has not used very frequently. On the back, this is really important to get right. The 4 engine pods, and they're angled. They look pretty good. This is kind of the command module up above. It's where the pilot would sit. And the thing is almost the same on both sides, almost completely symmetrical. Check out some of the moving and changing features on this set. First of all, on the top you have 4 different blasters. So 2 of these spring-loaded ones off to the sides, which unfortunately have their tails kind of sticking out towards the back. I like when they hide those away, but this actually makes it a lot more convenient without building up a whole lot of stuff to just fire them. You can just touch them from the outside. And then there are 2 stud shooters here, and this is actually a small little point defense turret, so it can shoot all around, not quite 360 degrees, but has a pretty decent arc to it. I do wish it was up a little bit higher or something, or it could kind of angle up and down. But there is one nice thing here about how low it is. It's actually set up to work with another little feature over here. There is a knob right here, and when you turn that knob with a dude sitting in a seat, this happens. Ta-da! He comes right up to operate the little point defense turret. I like that. And then he just goes back down in there. If you do this just right with there we go. Perfect. I didn't have that great luck the first time I tried this, but very, very good right there. You can actually get the hatch to just flip all the way back and stay like that. And yeah, he just hides down in there. This is a type of feature that they've used before, but it's just implemented very nicely, and he completely goes down in there. He does have just a little console that has a sticker on it that maybe you can just barely kind of start to see there. It's kind of hidden in there. Unfortunately, it's not something that you can really see. Also, when it's all the way up, it's completely covered. So that's just not something that you really end up seeing, but no big deal there. Over here to the side, this opens up, and like I said, this is where the pilot would sit or stand. He actually stands in there. They put him on a little cart so you can slide him out. They tried to make this thing as small as possible just to keep the proportions of it looking relatively good and relatively appropriate, even though the whole thing is kind of small for its scale. He stands there. I wish they had just made his console a little bit taller. I think that should have stood up just a little bit more, but this makes sense for getting him to fit into that space. See, he just slides just past the side little panels right there, so he just fits in. So they really got this as narrow as they possibly could. Now, this thing actually has wheels on it, because although it is a flying thing, a lot of kids want to play with it on the ground. You know, you land it and then you taxi, or you know, you just kind of roll it around. So it actually has little, the little Technic pulley wheels, the little clear ones under there. And what's up with all this? This thing comes forward to the front, and there's a cantilever there. Well, check that out. It's a little thing you can grab from the back. I'm glad it's not bright red or bright yellow like they often do with the check out this action feature thing here, you know, activator. It kind of fits in, but this doesn't, unfortunately, with just a little red axle. I wish that could have been done in black, but back here, reaching back, I can pull that, and it allows the ramp to come down. And the ramp has little simulated little activator, little hydraulic rams off to the side. So that's pretty nice. And you can just push it in, and the thing goes back up. So this actually works quite nicely. I like that. And you can take off the entire roof of the thing to let some light in there and to actually you know, load and unload your dudes as a huge fig, as a human. And you can see right down in there, that is such a great look. Look at that. Just look at that. How they line up. You can actually fit quite a number of troops in here, especially if you take their weapons off. Just putting them along the sides, you can fit in 8, but I think if you stagger them just right, you can get up to 12. It's going to be a real tight squeeze, and they can't all be the flame troopers because they've got the extra packs on the back. We'll look at all the figures up close in just a second here. But if you take some of the accessories off, you can definitely fit a lot of troops into this, and it does have some clips on the side. So there are 2 clips on either side to hold some weapons or accessories. This is the official LEGO Captain Phasma up close. What an inspiring character. Very, very much looking forward to just how she's going to be in the story. Played by Gwendolyn Christie, has really made a huge name for herself with her great portrayal of her role in Game of Thrones. And I feel like just the look of the character from the outside with all the polished metal and the removal of the oxidization on the blaster and just so much being polished up. There's just a lot of pride there that's captured in just the look without even knowing anything about the character. And LEGO has done a good job of capturing that in little plastic form here. I like the print on the front with the metallic colors, the silver in there that gives you the nice little details that shine from different angles. They brought in the original style of Stormtrooper blaster in a different color there. So it's in the matching color that matches the kind of dark silver color of the entire figure. You have the small details throughout the helmet that are good. You get the red stripe coming down one side. Matching hands. The prints go down through the hips and through the legs. Just really good looking figure, and this is the only set that comes with Captain Phasma, so this is a major selling point, unfortunately, for this set, is this one figure here. Now underneath, under that helmet, you find nothing but blackness. I don't think LEGO even knew, I don't think the designers knew who this character was going to be. Probably didn't even know she was going to be female at the time, because they got their information so long ago, and you know, the whole Star Wars thing is such a major thing, and so many folks want to copy things from it. They had to keep it secret. So I really don't think the designer even knew at all who this was going to be. So it makes sense to just have the traditional old style, just like they used to with the Stormtroopers, of black head for now. The set does also come with 2 regular, if you will, First Order Stormtroopers and 2 Flame Troopers, who kind of have helmets that are inspired by the old Snow Troopers, I would say, from the looks of them. And this is another case where, you know, LEGO, I think, has done a good job of capturing the original source material into their own comic style and size and proportions of things. And these are well detailed figures. I think they look good. The prints are pretty crisp. The prints go all the way around to the sides of the helmets and actually wrap around the backs just ever so little, just slightly, especially over here. Just a little bit of fuzziness around those lines if you look up very closely. But overall, I think it's looking pretty good. What surprised me completely is that they're still using Mr. Angry Clone under there. I think it is time for LEGO to decommission Mr. Angry Clone. He's due for termination permanently. We don't know the story yet. We don't know if First Order somehow has managed to hold on to or find an old stock of clones. There were plenty of stormtroopers, regular stormtroopers, who were still clones, but they were phased out over time, and I just don't know if we really should still be using those same clone heads. There's a look at them from the back, big old tanks for the napalm or whatever futuristic kind of jelly will be used for flamethrowers. And there's a look at the back of the torso on one of them. Those two have the exact same torsos. Oh yeah, and once again with the blasters, traditional style. Really warms my heart to see the good old original blasters again. You got the medium-sized ones, and then you got the longer rifle style ones used for the flame trooper weapons, for the nozzles, and they just put a little cylinder with the hole in it at the end, and I think it just works really well. The last two figures are unaffectionately called Resistance Soldier and Resistance Soldier. One male, one female. These also come with the older style of blaster, but interestingly, these are in a new color. I think that's a new color for that piece. It's a dark gunmetal gray. Both of them have prints on the backs of the torsos. Interesting olive colored legs on the left. The guy does not have an alternate face, but the woman does. Unfortunately, the print on her, the black, I think is a little bit thin. It kind of tapers off a little bit and just isn't as strong as normal. I don't know if that's just a quality control thing or if that was actually intentional. If it was intentional, then okay, it's interesting and new. So hats off to the designer of this set, seriously. I mean, the thing itself in universe, in the movie, is just such a boring, mundane looking thing. It's really just made for utility, but the designer did everything that he or she could with this thing and really made it, I think, better than it is in the movie. It is, for a toy adaptation, to have so many things that it can do is pretty fantastic, and still to be able to hold a lot of figures, just doing its main function of just carrying people around. I think this is the best this could possibly be made. Now, unfortunately, the parts count ends up being pretty high for the overall size of the thing. So when you look at the price of this thing compared to its size and its grayness, the big gray geometric blob of it all, it can definitely be a little bit of a tough pill to swallow. But you do, having gone through this thing and all of its features and it's how it's built and what all is there and the number of figures there, the value is there. Objectively, the value is there, but I can definitely still understand how anybody could just look at this and then look at its price and just say, nah. For me personally, I think the biggest reason to buy this is for its selection of figures, especially Captain Phasma. I feel like maybe it could have done without the Resistance soldiers altogether and just put those into a battle pack, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think about the design of this set, about the figures, and about its value, the price versus what you've seen here. Community feedback is always very important, so please do leave your comments. I appreciate it, and I'll be talking to you again very soon in the next video.